empty without you.
Fill me, Lord.
Fill me.
Fill me, Lord.
Fill me.
Fill me, Lord.
For my emptiness will profit nothing.
I'm empty without you, oh God. Fill me, Lord. Fill me, Lord.
We need your healing this day.
Fill me, Lord.
We say, Lord, heal our mind, heal our finances, heal our business, heal our relationship, heal our disease.
Heal me, Lord. Heal me, Lord. I can't live without you, oh God. Heal me, Lord. Heal me, Lord. Save me, Lord. I'm not safe without you, oh God. Save me, Lord. 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 Save me, Lord.
Save me, Lord.
Save me, Lord.
Let it be your prayer, somebody.
I'm not safe without you, oh God.
I'm not safe without you.
Save me, Lord.
He's our Savior, our Master, our God,
I'm not safe
our
without you.
soon and coming King.
Save me, Lord. Save me, Lord. Touch me, Lord.
Just a single touch of Him.
I'm nothing without you, oh God. Touch me, Lord. Touch me, Lord. Touch me, Lord.
For if the foundation is weak, what shall the righteous do?
Nothing without you, oh God.
With nothing.
Touch me, Lord. Touch me, Lord. Touch me, Lord.
Touch me, Lord.
Nothing without you, oh God. Touch me, Lord.
Touch me, Lord. Touch me, Lord.
Touch me, Lord. Touch me, Lord. I'm nothing without you, oh God. Touch me, Lord.
Nothing. I need you, touch me,
Touch
Lord.
me, Lord.
Anybody need the touch of God?
Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Youth Awake.
For His move.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
Holy
My
hand.
name is Pastor Ref, and I'm here with you from now till 11 p.m.
I need your touch now. I need your move now. I need your hand now. Breathe on me.
Text someone, let them know that Youth Awake, we are live. And like I always say, we are live for Christ.
I need your move.
You're listening to Franco Wusu with Feel Me, Lord.
Need your hand now. Breathe on me.
Your touch now. I need your move now. I need your hand now. Breathe on me. I need your touch now. I need your move now. I need your hand now. Breathe on me.
Wherever you're watching from, thank you for joining us. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you for joining us. Share the page, like the page, leave a comment, and we'll read your comment out for you. Greetings to you all. You can join us on Facebook at ADINKRA, ADINKRA Radio NY, ADINKRA Radio NY. We're also live on YouTube at ADINKRA TV. You can also join us live on radio in Ghana, on Modern Ghana Radio.
If the foundation is weak, what shall the with nothing?
Touch me, Lord. Touch me, Lord.
Touch me, Lord.
Nothing without you, oh God. Touch me, Lord.
Touch me, Lord. Touch
I have a very special guest in the studio tonight, and I believe that we're going to have a good time.
Nothing without you, oh God.
Reverend Godwin, thank you for joining us, Daddy. God bless you. Michael, thank you for joining us.
Anybody
On
need the
Facebook
touch
as
of
well.
God? Anybody desperate for His move? Why don't you lift your holy hands and then
Don't forget to share the page. Invite somebody to join us. In 2 minutes, I'll be introducing my guest for tonight.
I need your touch now. I I need your move now. I need your hand now. Breathe on me. I need your touch now. I need your move now. I need your hand now. Breathe on me.
Do you remember this one?
But I came down the sky, lead I wait. But I came down the sky, lead I wait. But I came down the sky, lead I wait. But I came down the sky, listen to me, how you do. Listen to lady, Janet's gonna listen to me, how you do. Listen to lady.
All right, here we go. Thank you for joining us. It's been a wonderful week, I believe, and your week has been good. I'm sure your weekend will be good as well. We are here, Youth Awake, and tonight I have a very special lady in the studios to help me out, and it's a return, it's a comeback to the studio. And Janet, thank you and welcome back to Youth Awake.
Thank you, Pastor Rev.
How are we doing?
So good. I'm doing so good. I'm doing very well. Thank you. And yourself?
Good. You gotta speak louder. We don't hear you. Oh, this is your new voice.
I'm doing very well. And yourself?
Good. Welcome back. How have you been? I'm sure a lot of people miss you and stuff.
Right.
Youth Awake has missed you. So how's it going?
I miss everyone too, and I'm back home. Can't complain. I mean, just been around, and I know a lot of people are asking about me and why am I not on Youth Awake and what is going on with me, but I'm back.
You didn't answer that question.
All right, so I was on short break, shall I say, maternity leave, and boom, I'm back.
Great. So how's the family? Since you left us, how's the maternity leave? How's it been?
Oh gosh, it's a stress on its own, but a good one as that. So, I mean, first mother, so a lot of stress. Trying to get used of not having babysitter. Like I had to. She was sleeping, but I had to bring her in here just to do the work of God. So it's not been easy, but in a good way. So.
All right, thank you. So, wanted to touch bases with you since you left. Since you went on break and coming back, and then also to talk about our ladies. Now we can't call you a young lady no more. You have graduated with.
Really, I'm still a young lady.
People say they still can't hear you. I don't know. You're not speaking loudly.
I'm still a young lady.
Now
can they hear me better now?
Good.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So if you can hear her, let me know. I got to check that we could.
Can you hear me now, please?
I think we should be able to get it.
That's good.
All right. So yes, ministry. We're talking about ministry and with the whole thing. Did you put ministry on hiatus as well? Were you on break, or you were still pushing from your side?
Okay, so for ministry, the only side I was pushing and still pushing is Gracious Youth Prayer Line.
What's that? Tell us about that.
So Gracious Youth Prayer Line is my first ministry, and we meet on the prayer line every Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time to 11, and it's just basically prayers, and it's not only entitled to the youth. Most of my members currently are not the youth, but basically was for the youth, and we meet every Wednesday to pray and also check up on the youth. And there are some topics that in churches we will not get it, but on the prayer line we have it, and we pray with the youth as well during academic stress. We call them, we have one-on-one with them to find out some of their struggles in school and how we can help them in prayer, and also to let them know that this is the time for you to do the work of God. And now I can use myself as a perfect example. When I used to be out there running back and forth, now I can't do that. Why? Because there is a baby. I want to go to this program. I don't have a babysitter. I don't want to take her with me, and the stress of going back and forth. So this is the time, if you are single, this is the time to engage yourself into the things of God. So what we do on the prayer line is also to coach them and mentor them, to ground them in the things of God.
So there's a difference between ministry. I mean, since you're doing ministry,
Yeah.
doing ministry or youth ministry per se,
Yeah.
as a single lady and as a married lady, and then as a mother.
Yes.
Well, what happens to the program? We, as youth, we're supposed to be running about and from here to here, this place to this place. What happens? Do we forget all these things?
No, like I said, now the fact that there is a child, and plus this is New York City, I don't drive. So even traveling from one place to the other with a child is kind of not as usual. And this is my first time. So, and she came during COVID. So she's not used to the crowd. So when you take her out there and somebody even want to stretch a helping hand, she will say no. And now she can say no. So she'll look at you and say no. I mean, last weekend we went to a wedding all the way in Jersey, and whilst my friends were on the floor dancing and everything, I couldn't because I have to babysit. So these are some of the things. So if you take her to a program, maybe you can still go to the program, but the things that you did when you were single without a child, you will not be able to do it again.
Interesting. All right. We're still on. It's from there.
No.
Anyways, yes. Sorry, we got the technical hitch. But again, COVID. You spoke about COVID. What were you? Were you here? Were you around during the whole COVID situation?
Yes, I think I had just given birth a few months into it. So,
And what was the experience? Our churches, our youth ministries. I had a discussion recently. Most of our youth conferences that we were supposed to be doing and everything was on break.
okay, so with the COVID, I didn't give up. I think it was an opportunity for me to actually do a lot. With the prayer line, we were able to organize some donations where, we're able to organize some donations where we were able to visit some hospitals in New York and donate lunch, breakfast. So it was a time where I actually got most of the youth involved because, I was a new mother. I organize it, they take it out there and they do the donation, share the gospel with most of the nurses. I know most of all the places they went, they couldn't enter, but they had few nurses to come out for them to do the presentation. So it was a way of us, sharing the word out there, telling them that throughout whatever was going on, they had a prayer line that is interceding for them. So, like in St. Barnabas, we did breakfast. At a hospital, we did lunch, we did dinner, here and there.
And this is all being done through the
During the COVID.
no, through the
Gracious Youth
Gracious
Prayer
Youth
Line.
Prayer Line. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So that was a perfect platform for us to really go out there and reach out. And personally, I did a lot. Through the COVID, I was able to come out with my own home care agency,
Oh yeah.
Skynet Home Care Agency.
Okay.
I was able to take few classes, and I mean, I'm still on it. So personally, it really helped me. I was able to do a lot and had the opportunity to work virtual at a point.
So those who are complaining that COVID has messed up everything for them and they don't know what to do, their life is boring and there's nothing to do.
I wouldn't say that. Like the Bible says, in all things, God knows why it happened, and COVID did not distract the ministry. COVID only revealed the weak ones in the ministry.
Interesting. You sure you're not going to get beaten for that statement?
Why
do you say that?
You are the ministry.
Right.
It's good not to forsake the gathering of the brethren, but yet God has given us platforms like Facebook, like conference calls, like Zoom. So I haven't been to church in person for God knows how long, but I don't miss my church's prayer line. I don't miss my bishop teachings, especially on Mondays or marriage. I don't miss it. I will be in class by then, and I'll be texting Pastor Seth, and I'll be like, Papa made this statement. Can you text it to me? And when I finish with my classes, I actually sit down and go over the notes. So there were a lot of things that were going on emotionally. People were broken, as at that point there was no way that you can reach out to somebody like in person or to fellowship, but yet it shouldn't stop you from the work of God and the activity. It was a privilege for most churches to go out there with a helping hand and win souls, and I saw a lot of ministries doing that. So one way or the other, COVID came to let us know that there was hope, to let the people know that there is God. And as at that point, people were very anxious, shall I say. So as at that point, any helping hand with the name of God in it wasn't a struggle anymore. It wasn't a struggle anymore. I remember one of the youth calling me, Sister Janet, I want to come on your prayer line. And I was like, I've been inviting you over 3 years today. So why? My grandma got the COVID and I'm scared. So when she came, I had Pastor Frank with me. We prayed with her. After the prayer line, we prayed word of encouragement and everything. I told her, your grandma is not going to die. The grandmother was healed. She got healed from the COVID and she was discharged and everything. And because of that, I don't force her to come on the prayer line. And this is somebody I will call her. Will you come tonight? Yes, auntie. Oh, auntie, I fell asleep. Oh, auntie, I'm doing my schoolwork. And now she'll be doing her schoolwork and she'll tell me, auntie, I'll be on to listen. So that was a platform or opportunity for most churches to go out there for evangelism.
All right. We are getting back to normal times, quote unquote. Hopefully this Delta and Lagma viruses don't come and bother us again.
Right.
But we're supposed to be getting back to normal times. What is the way forward? Youth leaders out there, youth pastors. How do we get our people back on track? We see it within the school system. Once they switch, well, we're in New York City.
Yeah.
Once New York City switch into virtual learning, now bringing the people back has become a whole struggle. You got to change syllabus. You got to change things. Now that we've been so virtual for so long, what is the strategy to bring us, especially the youth, how to regather and bring us back again on track?
All right. For New York, we used to do back to school prayer meetings. Yes. So I think as of now and from this month to next month, I believe that's one of the things that we can do or we can organize to be able to bring some of the youth back and let them, because COVID has been a very perfect example to let them know the goodness of God. So bringing them and not say maybe back to school prayer, but back to school Thanksgiving, back to school worship, back to school appreciation night of Thanksgiving, for them to understand the reason why they are alive. Look at New York, how many people in a day, and you are saved, your family is saved, then that's a reason for you. That's a reason for you to come out for worship. So activities like that will be able to bring them out once again, and one step at a time. When we're able to bring them out there again, and like we used to do, you and I mean, we throw it out there to the youth. What do you think should be the next activities? Because they know themselves better than we, the leaders. Then they'll suggest to you, oh, okay, I think we should have a picnic. We should have a barbecue. We should go to the water park. With something like that, we'll be able to bring them back on board. And I believe another thing the youth leaders can do is to, something I threw out there a few years ago, is to bring ourselves together in prayer as well. Yes.
Okay. So tonight we're taking it easy. We are going through old memories, trying to get our stuff together. So you can join in the conversation. If you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, you can also join in the conversation. Let me see on you. Yeah, you're gonna join the conversation on YouTube as well. And then your comments, questions, contributions, anything that you want. Greetings. So I got some greetings on Facebook earlier. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So yeah, a lot of welcome backs for you. So welcome back again. And you don't just say welcome back. Say don't go away again, unless you're gonna have a second baby. Now you know the drill of. Somebody asked me to ask you about motherhood, but we'll ask that later. We have time. But now you know the drill. So even if a baby comes, you run away again, right?
No.
Yes, because You know the drill. Our plans for Youth Awake. Where are we going? What is the direction? What new things that we want to do to improve our program? Like I said, today we are taking it easy. What are you? What are you bringing on board? What are you bringing back that we should
Really?
expect?
For Youth Awake, we have had a lot of plans for the past 2018 that we haven't
Hey, actually, how many? 3 years. Wow.
already. So our worship night is something I will encourage that we work on it, and working on it by visiting churches and giving them the opportunity, meeting up with other churches, youth leaders, giving them the opportunity, telling them we would like your youth to come into our place for worship on this day, on this. So with that, we'll be able to spread the news out there, let the churches know that the youth of New York are out there for Christ. So I believe if we go that way, and also bringing in the youth more, not necessarily youth leaders, but any youth from any church, for them to come and share the experience, because the youth are going through a lot, and unfortunately they don't have the confidence in sharing their problems, because somebody else is gonna hear it and spread it the negative way, and they are very, very insecure about their information. So it will be a privilege, and at times we can bring in parents and the youth. They give you their point of view, and you get a point of view from the parent. I just treated one topic on Clubhouse, where
What's that? Some of us
Clubhouse
are
is
old
another
men.
social media, and where
Apart from TikTok and stuff, there's what's it called, Clubhouse.
yes,
And they do what?
It's different type of groups. They have different type of houses. That's how they call it, and rooms as well. So I have this. I think they are called Yankasa. So
I don't understand.
it's like Clubhouse.
I'm sure most people watching don't even know what it is.
Yeah, it's a very good platform to go on.
So-
So I've had the opportunity to have marriage seminars on some of the platforms, and also talking about the youth and their struggles.
So when you go on there,
When you go
you're
on
able
there-
to choose what you want to join, like a Zoom,
When you-
like Zoom, different with different platforms.
Yes, when you go out there, it will pop up my name because you have my number.
Right.
Right, then I will see that you are on, then I'll follow you, then you follow me back. So when I follow and you follow me back, and let's say Youth Awake is on Clubhouse and I'm on Clubhouse, it will show on your hallway that Janet is in this room. Then you can click on and come on. You can, when you come on, you'll be listening. Then maybe if I'm a moderator, I can bring you up there to speak. So I've had
Interesting. And is this being done by video or?
no, this is not an
Audio.
video. Audio.
Okay.
Yes. So I've had the privilege, on few platforms to talk about marriage and the youth. And one of the topics that we are trying to reorganize and talk about again is when parent brings us to America at a certain age and their expectation of the children. I know my rights, and how parents expect to have this type of power or authority over you at a certain age, forgetting the environment that you are in, or the settings that you are in is different from Ghana, and how they adopt certain things in this country, and they have ignored certain things that are affecting their children and youth. So topics like this, you can bring in a parent, and you can bring in somebody that has been in this country at a certain age.
Okay.
So they share their struggle, because those that are born and raised here get used to it at growing up. But you experiencing the Ghana environment and coming here to merge it, to have a lifestyle. So we were looking at the number or the rates.
What is the problem in that? That when you come
The problem
at a certain age.
when you come at a certain age, now you have the Ghana experience and
Right.
you're adopting the American experience, where your parents will tell you go out this time and come back this time, or you can go here, you can do this, those type of strict African rules and regulations.
So who are we working on the kids to adapt, or we're working on the parents to adapt towards the kids? Well,
Both ways, because I had a scenario where,
now we talk about, because you have a kid now, so very soon your kid will be doing the same thing. So
yes. So as at that point, so when I spoke, one of the girls, hit me up on the side and said, oh yeah, Mami Abruana, are you that old? And I said no, because I used to think like you. I used to feel like my parents were too much on me. I used to think I need all the freedom. I would sneak out to parties. I will do all the things I want to do. Then I will come back home as if I'm the most innocent one. You get it? But now I have a child. And I see what is going on out there. Is that what I want to lay for my child?
So your point is you're in support of the parents, that there should be
not
restrictions.
100%, because they need to be lenient at a point. At a certain age, they need to slow down. The strictness is too much.
Okay.
But this has caused a lot of youth because when I was hearing them when they spoke, you can hear the hurt in their voice, the bitterness in their voice. One even said like, "Me papa cry at times me wanna me who no call and no hear me he."
Speaking now, we have a foreign listeners now.
Right. So when she sees the dad calling her, it just it reminds her of the things she went through with her dad, and she just get upset, and most of the time she doesn't answer the dad's call. So topics
Interesting.
like that, I mean, bringing it on Youth Awake, where people can come in and express it, release that anger out. So you have a parent that will also explain to them in their point of view that this is why your parent did so and so. And you have a counselor, you have a man of God that will pray with them, to let go of this hatred. Especially the fathers. I didn't hear anything negative about the mothers, but the fathers. The fathers. I brought you to America, so pay me. If you think now I can control you, move out of my house. All these things are, this is what the youth are going through. So those are some of the topics we can bring back on Youth Awake, and I believe it to be very interesting and educative to both parents and
I'm
the
interested
youth.
in the payment one. How is it you draw a payment plan for the child? Or interesting. Okay, so we'll look at we'll look at some of those things. I think we spoke about having a parent conference itself, where we speak to the parents themselves without
Yes.
without the
That was a plan, and we have
without
never had
without
it.
the children. So well, now that you're back, they say behind every successful man is a woman. So now you can push it, then we can bring some of those things back into place.
Yes.
Let me ask you questions, because they're saying women, how does she take care of a child at the same time of how does she take care of the baby at the same time do ministry? Can she tell us her experience as a mother? How was so many mother questions? What I don't know what they want. I don't know what they want. You should have done a vlog and then you show us all that you did throughout.
I mean, I would say what helped me most back again is COVID, because my maternity leave was like 6 weeks, and I ended up staying home for almost 6 months. So it really helped.
Okay.
So it really helped me in a way. And then I took a break. I went to Ghana for almost 2 months, and I just got back in March. So, but I would say it's not easy. Now I understand a lot of parents, and because if she doesn't sleep, you won't sleep. She wakes up in the middle of the night, you have to get up the next day, you have to go to work, and you get to work and you are dozing off, and other people are relying on you. As at that point, if a member calls you, or if a youth calls you for counseling or prayer or whatever, you can turn it down. So it also helped me to create my daily schedule and be on top. You know how late I like to be, but that has changed. Now I'm on top of my schedule. I wouldn't spend time on things that are unnecessary.
Okay.
So That's basically it. But the struggle is the babysitter part. Like weekends, I don't have anybody to babysit like that. So, and plus, like I said, I started my own home care agency, and
Yeah, we'll talk about that. It's interesting. I haven't heard that. This is my first time hearing that. So we'll
Yeah.
talk about that
so
before we close. Hopefully, we have some investors out there who want to invest
they are very
into it
cool.
or something. Interesting. That's interesting. 'Cause one of our things was entrepreneurship spirit, getting yourself doing something, and you know,
Yeah. So, and plus my ginger drink and all that. So throughout the COVID, I had orders for my ginger drinks.
you
the
should you made a
Sobolo.
lot of money because everybody says that's the cure for COVID.
Yeah, I did. That's what I'm saying. I did made a lot out of it. In a week I can get more than 5 orders. I can get more than 6 orders.
That's good. I'm going to start that business, making things for people to come and buy. Because a lot of people, even the white people, started buying it.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
the foreigners do.
yeah, so I did a lot of business during the COVID, and to me, I would say I had a lot of improvements.
So
I had a lot of
the
improvements.
statement that people have made the most money that they can in their lifetime through this COVID season is true.
I did.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So it's just position yourself. You did say that. So first time being the mother, the lady's question, you didn't answer that one.
First time being a mother, like I said, it's
What
not.
was the experience like? The first time they brought your kid? Where do you have your baby here?
Yeah, I did here in SBH, and it was so emotional. It was very
They have a
emotional
good
because
delivery floor. Yeah.
yeah, at a point, I mean, they told me I had to go for C-section because I was in labor from Tuesday 10:30 a.m. to Wednesday in the morning, around 7 after 7. So they had to arrange for C-section. But as the doctor asked the lady to go and move some bed so that they can drag my bed instead of, sort of transfer me, then I said to God that I have a covenant with you. And just like the Hebrew women gave birth without a struggle, a knife will not touch me. And I had one of my mothers by me, and I said, Ma, a knife will not touch me. And before the lady went to move the bed and came back, my baby was out.
Interesting.
So it also right there encouraged me that my work in the kingdom of God wasn't in vain, because I had a covenant with him,
And he came through.
and it came through.
Great. So I guess whoever asked the question, I hope you got your answer. I guess a good motherhood experience.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? Oh, so it's pretty much the same thing. Your experiences as a new mother and how to take care. And you've already said that things have changed. You're on schedule.
Yeah. And now I do a lot, so a lot extra.
Right.
So, yeah.
And the only thing left is babysitter. So if somebody was coming to babysit, what's the qualification that they can come? Because
I do have a babysitter, but like mostly on the weekends, where I need to run out for my home care agency stuff, and it's kind of holding me back a little bit. So, but hopefully now we'll get her schedule ready. So,
interesting. Okay.
yeah.
I lost this message. I saw a message on WhatsApp. I lost it. Okay. So, well, I saw we were talking about something before. Oh, your home care thing. What is the deal?
Oh, it's just like every other home care agency where I employ the.
So you
Yeah.
send out the people so that
Yes, to go
they reach
take
out to
care
you,
of-
then you get people and you send them
Yes.
out. Interesting. Okay.
So that's
How do people reach out to you? What are you doing? Are you doing with the what do you call those people?
CNA and HHA.
CNAs and HHAs.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have my business card here.
I don't think we can catch it, but yeah.
Yeah, but the number to call is 929-339-0050.
Okay. Are you
And
training
we put
or they have to come with their certificates?
They have to come with their certificate.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So if you want to reach out to what is it, Skynet?
Skynet Home Care Agency. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We have our website, Skynet Home Care Agent. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And then, I hope you are not paying minimum wage. You are paying them well.
It depends on the cases, and some are just companionship, some are just for appointment's sake. So depending on your the job that is available.
All right.
Yeah.
So reach out to Skynet if you're into CNAs, HHH, or HHA. How do you, what is it?
HHA,
HHA.
home care.
Okay. Okay. So HHAs and CNAs.
Yeah.
You can reach out, and then you take the young people to write, not only the old people, the youth.
Some of the youth come back and they don't get any job, so if they want to do companionship or appointments, so they can have the flexibility of their schedule.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. How's that going? Since you started, so are we doing?
Like
It's a new business.
It's a new business, and due to the COVID, most of the, let me say, all the facilities were not taking new businesses. They were taking already established ones, and other facilities came up with their own agencies because they were not ready to bring outsiders due to the COVID and everything. So now that we are getting back to the normal stages, I know there is still a lot that you can go to their department or the nursing homes to talk about your home care. But now I have had the opportunity to look out for other communities that give out their. I think there is something about the Vietnam, like the old military settings. There is something about them. I just discovered that yesterday, where they have a community where you can reach out to them and they recommend your agency to their retirement soldiers and all those
So
things.
slow but sure.
Yes. So we're getting there.
Right.
Yes.
So, if you're want to get into the home care business, or no, you are in the home care. So if you are, if you work in the home care business, and you want employment, reach out to Janet, and then she can help you out. Somebody just put on the thing that's Skynet Home Care Agency. That's good. And so entrepreneurship spirit. We've been speaking about it for a long time. If you've been watching us on YouTube, how to get out of the 9 to 5, or in America we don't even do 9 to 5 no more. 6 to 2, 2 to 10, 10 to 6 in the morning.
All that.
Yeah, how to get out of that and try to get something going for yourself. So Skynet Home Care Agency.
Yes.
Reach out to them, and then we'll see. And then we're still doing the
Sobolo,
the drink stuff.
the drinks still on point.
And then why didn't you should put all of them under one umbrella and then have a group of businesses or group of companies?
I'm working on it, and actually I have my share butter product and black soap, African black soap.
Yeah,
Alata
so
Stamina, so
That's how you become big. Group of companies. Find one name, and so that once we see, we know, this is from Janet's company.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So
All right.
I'm working on that.
Oh, so with the soap, you'd make those things too by yourself, and then people can purchase.
Yes, actually I was producing it for one of the youths, introducing her how to become, create her own stuff. So
And that's when they call, they can reach out to you and buy soaps and stuff from you.
currently I do it for my personal use and for my baby, but the shea butter I do sell organic shea butter.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right. So you've turned today's show into a business thing. Well, at least
Advertisement, right?
that's good.
Yeah.
So if you wanna reach out to with any of these things, fine. Finally, our young women, now that you've gone through marriage and first baby, what do you speak to our young ladies, those who are at the brim, they're about to transition? Any advice that if you knew before you got into marriage, or something that you could have polished before you got in, or something that you could have done? I don't know how to explain it, but something that how long have you been married? 1 year, 2 years?
I'm going on 3 already.
Hey, okay, so something that 3 years ago you'd have maybe done a little better, so that
Better.
today you feel better. Just for our young people out there.
I would say marriage is not a rush, and marriage is not one size fit all. And
What does that mean? One man doesn't fit everybody.
marriage is not one size fit all. We have some clothing that are one size fit all. So
Okay.
regardless of your structure, it will still fit you. But marriage is not like that. When it comes to marriage, there are a lot that you will not understand unless you are in it. So don't rush to get in, but prepare yourself. Now, our youth prepares for the ceremony than the marriage. The Bible says that Esther was prepared for a year just to meet one day with the king. What was Esther prepared on? How was Esther prepared? Now she was going to meet with the king. Presentation. Of course, the king would have asked her a question. How does she answer? So you are going to meet your king. You are going to meet your husband. How do you prepare yourself? You know, there are a lot of things that how to talk to a man is very important. Marriage is not I know my rights. You can't scream at me. You can't do this. The Bible says that women submit unto your husbands. The submission there is to tell you and I that there is a head for you to submit under. And the Bible says, men, love your wives as Christ loved the church, which is a very difficult task because Christ went through a lot for the church. Christ was beaten for the church. He was insulted for the church. People spat on him for the church. So you need to know your man and see, since he has to die for your marriage or for you, how can you also help him? Now, your wife also needs to be submissive, which maybe she might be struggling at a certain point. So you need to know your partner the best way you can. And if you are yet to go into marriage, I encourage that you and your spouse go through counseling and also deliverance. Very, very important.
And deliverance?
Yes.
I haven't heard that one, okay.
The reason why I'm saying deliverance is you are coming from different backgrounds. And at a certain point in marriage, you'll be fighting some battles that are not physical. So if you are not in tune or vigilant to know where some of these things are coming from, you will not understand. Therefore, you will fight it physically, that may lead to divorce. But if you understand your background, if you understand where you are coming from, if you understand where your spouse is coming from, there are certain things that you will not even mention for anybody to hear, but you will deal with it on your knees.
Okay.
So that's why I brought in the reverence, because there are some families where marriages don't hold. I always say this: the day I will testify about my marriage, people will tell me to write a book.
Would testify here or
no
on a different platform? Which one?
You know, so at a point there is a lot of struggles, but if you identify, if you know where you are coming from, you will go on your knees. And that's where I said deliverance, because then some of these things can be touched during deliverance or prayers. So counseling is very important, but I don't want to go into counseling because I'm dealing with it on another platform. These days, counseling is not the counseling we heard of, you know. So it has also, yes, people go through counseling as a normal thing that they need to do, but counseling is not the counseling we used to know.
But what do you mean? You can't just drop that like that. What, on the part of the one on the counselor's part, or those who are being counseled?
Both, because now people's information are not secured. I'm coming to Pastor Rev for counseling.
Don't put my name. Put somebody else's name. Put somebody else's name.
Pastor Rev. So I'm coming to Pastor Rev for counseling, and I know definitely that if I tell Pastor Rev some of the things that is bothering me in that relationship, or you know, for me trying to get into that marriage, Pastor Rev gets off and probably, oh, you know, she's, let me use now for example, because she's your sister, probably you guys have that bond. Oh my God, you know, Jenna came to me today and she said this and this and that. Man, it's going to be tough for her, or it's going to be easy for her. Then now also have a best friend. She picks up the phone. So that is what is going on in our churches. So the person that is going for the counseling is just going because it's a tradition. They are not ready to release the accurate information for the counselor to be able to give them the best advice or counseling.
Interesting.
Then there are in some churches that the marriage committee itself, there is a question mark.
But before we go on the marriage committee people, with the counseling, thing? Isn't it a choice? I mean, if I'm about to get married, I should be able to choose who I want to go to for counseling. So if I don't do my homework well, I don't do my research well, and I go to a counselor who's a loudmouth, how do I go around and be blaming somebody else?
Okay, that's a very good point, and that's one of the things I advise. You don't necessarily, even if it takes you to pay money and get that proper counseling, do it. But this is the case where we believe that counseling needs to be done in your local church.
Right,
So
but even within the local church, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be this particular person.
okay, but the churches have set, most churches that I'm aware of have set marriage counselors for the church.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
somebody wants to get married, that's the process that you pass through.
Okay, I understand.
Yes. So I had a case where I was talking on this platform about marriage counseling, and a young man gave a perfect example of, so he wasn't a virgin when he was going to get married, but during the counseling he intentionally said he was a virgin. And he said, "Mommy," my social media name, of course, "Mommy, I bet you the next day people called my wife to ask if my thing was working."
Oh, because he said that.
Because he said he was a virgin. So right there, the rest of their session of counseling, that was it. He gave them the false information that they needed.
Interesting. Is that supposed to be? I have to ask about that. I don't know. Think that's a question. Is that supposed to be a question for counseling?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go,
I'll find out.
Yeah,
About it, yeah.
if you want to go into details of marriage counseling, yes, it's part of those
Okay.
things. Yes,
All right.
yes.
So that's on the counselor. And then what about on the individual's point? Because you said it's both ways.
That's what I'm saying. That because
What are they missing? What are the individuals missing? That
they are missing the right counseling.
okay.
If my head is aching me and I come to you and I tell you that my leg, all right, maybe the painkiller for my head is not the same painkiller for my leg. So of course you get a wrong medication for a wrong diagnosis.
Okay.
So they go out there and they don't tell the main situation, the main problems.
Okay. We got to talk about this counseling issue. This is just my own. Just for the next, we have about 5 minutes to go. But
Yeah.
we make it seem as if it's a kind of entrapment. That's how most people portray it to be, where I'm going and they're trying to get into my business and they're trying to know what
Yes.
that things that it's not going to help them out. If to me personally, I think marriage counseling talks about compatibility, how to move forward, how to be together, how to things that you would not know until you've been married before.
Yes.
But if we are seeing it as like you're saying, as an entrapment where you go and then the pastor has to know your whole life story, then of course the young people would never want to go. Even before marriage, now they don't want to tell us nothing. How much more we make it that way?
That's the struggle. That's the struggle for the young ones getting into marriage. That's the struggle.
Interesting. Well, we'll pick that up. We'll find time and either bring some counselors in here or something and talk about
Yes.
that, because it's I know most churches have how do you call it, compulsory, or it's part of you have to go through that before the church could marry you.
Yeah. I mean, we have the before and the after marriage counseling.
Interesting.
I mean,
so
for what I know from my church, yes.
We'll look at that. If we have any, we'll try to find some pastors and stuff for
Yes.
talk about it. The members are not being honest with the counselor for the sake of what? Why are they going to counseling? Somebody's asking that.
Yeah.
Why are you not being honest with your counselor?
It's a tradition. They just need to pass through the system. So they will do it for that sake.
Right, like you're saying, if
Yeah.
I have the mentality that my counselor is like this and like that, of course I would lie to him or something. Interesting. I think it's important. We'll catch on that. Find one of these days and dedicate it to that, and then we'll look at some people's experiences that you've gone through and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. 5 minutes to go. So that's the main thing. Oh, you mentioned about marriage is.
Marriage is not one size fits all.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
what
So
we're talking about.
I mean, yeah. Now we peer pressure. My friend is getting married, so the relationship that you yourself know that it will not lead to marriage is what you want to get married to. because your friends are getting married. So that's why I said marriage is not one size fit all. So don't rush into it. Take your time
Okay.
and do the right thing.
Ew.
Prepare for marriage. Don't prepare for the ceremony.
Oh yeah, about that too. That's also another big issue. Yeah, because I mean, you still got to do something now. You got to.
Yes, Rev, we pay so much attention to the occasion.
Well, that's
the
what people are coming
marriage
to see.
itself, that's what people are coming to see. But after that night is between you and your husband. So you have people getting married today and tomorrow they are divorced. Okay, people spend thousands of dollars for wedding and they don't spend even $5 to buy a marriage book and read.
Okay, so now we're talking about marriage books. I hope our young people are listening. Those who are not married yet.
So when you don't read and you don't know some of these things, how do you enhance your marriage? It's very important.
Just a question. I don't know if somebody's thinking about that, but think about it. Like, I mean, I'm being the devil's advocate.
Okay.
If marriage, one size doesn't fit all, and I understand what you're saying, that is, then if I buy a book, that book might not fit me. What do you think about that?
That book might
Because
not,
it's not that person, the right of the book's marriage situation might be different from mine.
that book might not fit you, but that book gives you an idea of another person's point of view in marriage. Okay, so if that doesn't fit you, it will give you the education that just in case it is coming your way, this is how that person was able to prevent it. You get it? So yes, all the books does not have to relate to your marital situation, but it gives you an idea of what to the other side looks like. At times you feel like my first time doing the marriage seminar with them and I got off the phone, I actually called my husband and I told him, I appreciate you. She's awake.
Interesting. Oh yeah, you did all that.
Yes, I told I apologized to my husband and I told him how much I appreciate him, because there were some things that he would do and I wouldn't appreciate. But hearing what other people are going through in their marriage, it was a form of me recognizing that if I think maybe mine is not good, mine is better than what others are going. So yes, somebody's marital situation is not something that you are going through, but it only also gives you the idea of what the other side looks like.
Interesting.
Yes.
So your advice to us is watch it before you get in,
Yep.
and try to learn something at least.
Try to learn something.
Interesting. All right. So our time is up, if I should say. I think we should come and talk about this counseling thing, because it looks like it might be an interesting discussion.
Yeah, it's very, very important.
So we can
Yeah.
at least get some of our, because most of our, I mean, if we are looking at our age, when we started, we're young. Now you're married. So that means most of our mates are
Getting
within the
married.
range.
Oh, and before we leave, congratulations to my my only daughter, Nan Not Abe.
What is
Lady
it? Saturday,
Pastor.
right?
Yeah, Lady Pastor Nan Not Abe.
Yes.
Now we love you and
Did she tell you come and announce it? Did she tell you?
no, I mean
Did
it's
she
out
tell
there.
you?
She didn't
Yo.
tell me, but I'm congratulating her because it's out there, so there's no hiding. I mean, she wouldn't kill me for that.
Yeah. So we are
So like you are saying, we are growing, so this is a good news. I mean,
yeah. So happy
From-
marriage to
now we wish
The
you
royal
all the
lady,
best.
Nah.
Yes.
and yes, wish you the best.
yeah.
We'll do virtual wedding from here. We'll join you through Zoom and stuff. All right.
Yes, so-
Okay. Thank you guys very much for joining us tonight on Youth Awake. I believe we've been blessed. And Jenny, do you have your final words for us before we go?
I'm back, and I'm staying back.
That's your final words.
Yes, so expect more from Youth Awake, and I believe together we will bring a lot on your way. So stay tuned and inbox us with your ideas. I mean, what you expect what you think we can do to improve our show on Youth Awake, and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much for joining us on Youth Awake. We're happy to have Janet back in the studio with us. So she's going to be coming. If you see both of us, you see her, you see me, it's going to be back and forth. And I'm sure we're going to have a wonderful time, more growth. And now that we have a lady inside, things will be softer. sometimes the guys are too rigid. So I'm sure we will pull through successfully. Thank you for joining us. If you were ever join us, Sakanis, thank you. Brother Larry, thank you. Ranabi, thank you. Domina, thank you for joining us. Kwame, thank you for joining us. Mame Ama Ampoma, thank you for joining us as well on Facebook. If you watch us on YouTube, thank you. We are on YouTube at Youth Awake. No, at Youth Awake. At ADINKRA TV on YouTube. ADINKRA TV on YouTube. And if you listen to us on morningghana.com too, thank you very much. My name is Pastor Ref. I'll see you next week. Oh, no, I'm not here next week. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Hopefully, Janet will be here next week. And then we'll meet. God bless you.